All right, let's get into it. Tea time. Now, everything I'm fixing to tell you is alleged, right? I have no idea if it's factual or not. Seems to be credible, but until it all plays out, who knows? Okay, that being said, a lot of you guys on social media are talking about Bamboo Bliss, and you know that we did a an interview with the owner of Bamboo Bliss back in early this year. Wasn't too long ago, so January, February, I don't know, sometime this year. We did an interview with Ashley Redmond, the owner of Bamboo Bliss, and in that interview we discussed how she got started, what she did to get going, what her future plans were, all that stuff. Everything seemed really good. For full disclosure, right? She is the mother of my brother's daughter, right? So they never got married, so she's not actually family, but they are close. So for full disclosure, that's the relationship. And we had a great relationship. Fast forward a couple months. My daughter was working for them. That you guys would order material, whatever that was, right? Bamboo pajamas. You ordered whatever you ordered. They packed it. They mailed it to you. You did the pre-orders. However, all that works. I don't know. You could go back to the first video, I guess, and look at that and see exactly the process for it. However, a lot of stuff has come to light lately, and I feel like it's worth addressing for the second time, and to know that under no circumstances do we condone or support anything that Bamboo Bliss has done. So, little backstory. My daughter was working over there, and she got real sick, and she was actually in the hospital, and she was in the hospital for a couple days, and while she was in the hospital sick and couldn't come to work, they ended up firing her. Now, that's family, so we don't, we didn't make a big deal of it. I said it's not a problem. I own an asphalt company, so I just told my daughter, hey, you can just come work for us. It's not a problem. We could actually use the help in the office anyway. So that's what we did, right? We brought her over, and she worked for us. So a month or two goes by, and I say a month or two. It could be less time. I don't know, but I feel like that's probably about accurate. A month or two goes by, and then all of a sudden, Ashley completely ghosts us. She blocks us on social media. She won't answer text messages. All of a sudden, we can't see the baby anymore. This is my niece. I can't see her anymore. We love her just like she's one of our own, and we have no idea why. So this goes on for a little bit. Her and my brother separate, and he gets his own place, and I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not going to stress it. I don't know what the deal was. I reached out to her. She, for whatever reason, didn't want to reach back out and have a conversation. So I said, okay, whatever. It is what it is. At least we'll get to see the baby when my brother has her, and that's cool with me, right? Like, we don't have to have everybody in our lives all the time. We're grown. So about a month later, we get this text message from Ashley, and she texts me, my wife, and my daughter, and she's like, you wonder what the problem is this right here, and she sends us a picture of a screenshot of a woman who is making a video saying, this is going on and that's going on with Bamboo Bliss, buyer beware, and supposedly my daughter had reposted this video. Now, whether she did or didn't repost it, it's really irrelevant, because it still doesn't have anything to do with us. So blocking us and not having a conversation about it, if you do that to me, I feel like I'd get on the phone, I'd call you and say, hey, what's going on, what's the deal. However, we responded back and was like, listen, she's like, you effing fake Christians and this and that, you backstabbing people. And I was like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like my daughter's social media actually got hacked, and somebody else was reposted, and that was like one of a bunch of stuff that got reposted and then sent out. So, we figured it out because a lot of stuff was getting posted in Spanish, and my daughter doesn't speak Spanish, she doesn't read Spanish, so it just didn't make sense. And that's actually how we figured out, she had got hacked. So I tell Ashley, okay, how does this make you feel that you blew up a whole relationship for no reason because my daughter's account got hacked and you thought that somebody was out to get you, and it just wasn't so. And she responded back like, oh, I don't believe that. This is BS. You guys are fake Christians, and you know what I mean? Like, oh, gluttony's a sin. Like, the weight, really? Like, oh my God, I've never heard that before. You know what I mean? Am I a big guy? I'm a big guy. I like to eat. I did that to myself. I'm aware of the size I am. You know what I'm saying? Somehow that equating to me being a Christian. Get out of here with that. Okay? Anyway, even at that time, I knew some stuff that I was like, listen, if you're going to keep accusing us of doing stuff, maybe I'll just make a video and put it out there, and you can read about it on Facebook. However, I didn't do that. You know what I mean? I refrained, and I was like, whatever, it is what it is. You're saying we can't see, your daughter anymore. You're just, there's something wrong with you, to be honest. You're a narcissist. You are self-serving. You are all about you. It just is what it is. I don't want to be a part of anything that you have going on. So, good luck with your life. Now, she said we were shady people, and we were backstabbing and this and that. Fast forward 4 days. 4 days. Same week. It's the night before Thanksgiving. Social media starts blowing up. We're shutting our business down due to unforeseen circumstances. Unforeseen? Oh, you didn't see this coming? Get out of here. Okay. Let's walk through the unforeseen circumstances. Now, everything I'm about to tell you, again, is not been proven in court. It is my opinion, and this is all alleged. Okay? So, this may not be 100% accurate, and I am mostly going off of what I've seen other people put together on Facebook, TikTok, wherever and everywhere. I mean, if you just type in Bamboo Bliss scam, it will all come up. So, that being said, allegedly, she stopped ordering pajamas and everything else back in July from the manufacturer. She continued to sell all of this stuff, even offering 50% off Christmas apparel all the way up until the day she closed the business. Some people posting online that they had just ordered several $100s or thousands of dollars worth of material. I say material, pajamas. And they're, how do I get my money back? Some of these people finance this stuff, and what's worse than paying for something that is not coming is paying monthly for something you'll never get. That's crazy. Okay, so just in the time that it takes you to go from July to November, on average, according to court documents that are filed in a lawsuit, she's making between $300,000 and $400,000 a month of revenue. Okay, so that's $300,000 and $400,000 a month in sales, and she's not buying any material, and she's not sending any material out. So that's pure revenue. Now you do the math. Even at $300,000 for 4 months, that's $1.2 million. Everybody with me so far? $1.2 million. Then you take into effect that not only did she not send orders to people and not order stuff. She still had stuff in her warehouse. She fire sold all of that stuff and had allegedly had somebody come down from somewhere and buy all of it. Now, I don't know. Nobody knows what that number is, or, well, I would say or if it happened, but I think it did happen. I think there was video of people that actually bought it, from what I can see online, because again, all this stuff is coming from other people online that were affected. Now let's just say that number is $30,000, because that seems, I've seen the warehouse, I've seen the inventory. If you're going to fire sell it for an amount that people could afford, probably 30 grand seems right. Who knows? Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. Let's just say 30 for conservative numbers. Okay, so now we're at 1.2, 30, $1,200,000, Okay, now 4 days. Okay, within 2 weeks of closing her business, according to documents that I've seen posts online, she took out 7 loans. Now, again, is that number 5? Is that number 7? I don't know, but it's somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000. Okay, so you add that 1.2 and let's just say $500,000 in loans that were taken out, all back to back within like 2 a day for 3 or 4 days straight. So, in dealing with these loans, I've had these loans before. I've even got messed up with some of these loans before. These loans they will give you, $50,000, pay back $70,000, either daily or weekly, or bi-weekly if you have a good relationship with them. So that being said, I know how these loans work. You can't get more than usually 2 of them. If you get more than 2, the only way you're doing it is you're being shady. You're not telling the lender, because these are hedge funds, right? These are high risk, high interest loans, paid back over a very short period of time. They're used to losing money to an extent, but they make a lot of money off of people based on their revenue. So with the way her shop was set up, I understand, and the way the court paperwork shows, I understand that this was daily paybacks. So you're supposed to get, $55,000, $75,000, $100,000, $150,000, whatever it is. You get that and it starts getting paid back daily. Well, within 4 or 5 days, she got all of these loans and then closed the business the day before Thanksgiving. Okay, so you add that money up. Now you're at like $1.7 to $2 million. There's $1.7 to $2 million sitting out there somewhere. You know what I mean? Allegedly. Pretty strong indicators. I can't see how there's not somewhere a lot of money, at least $1 million. Okay. All of this being said, then the night before Thanksgiving, they close the doors and they say, we're not going to be issuing refunds to anyone. You guys have to charge it back with your bank. That's crazy, and that's just it. I mean, it's fraudulent. You can't tell customers you're not issuing refunds. You can go out of business. You can do that all day, every day, but you have to issue refunds at least until the money runs out. You do not get to go out of business this way and keep that much money. That's criminal. So now you have all this money out of business, not answering emails, not monitoring social media, Next day is Thanksgiving. What's crazy to me is if I had to shut down my business the day before Thanksgiving, I would not be able to have Thanksgiving. I would have to cancel it. My family couldn't come over. I'm not sure I could get out of the bed. I would definitely be in my feelings and wondering how I'm going to pay all my bills, moving forward. I would have to be thinking about getting a very well-paying job, what I'm gonna lose, how my credit's gonna take a hit. All these things would be running through my head. I for sure would not be, smiling and hanging out and having a good time, and getting photographed doing so the very next day. I would also not go on vacation to the mountains that following weekend. I would definitely not go on vacation to the mountains and then follow it up with a Disney vacation today. How do we know there was a Disney vacation today? Because one of the moms spotted them there at Disney World and said, "Hey, just want to let you guys know how the owner of Bamboo Bliss is spending our money." And so that that become a whole uproar, right? Like now you got 20,000 people that know where you're at, and these people are commenting like, where at? I'm in the park right now. I want to confront her. So now you're into a dangerous situation. Now, why I still harbor, at this point, there's no love lost between us. I don't condone anything that they've done. I don't. I want to put. I want everybody to be aware. I want as much distance between me and that situation as possible. That is not how I operate. That is not in any way, shape, or form condoned by myself. That being said, that is still family to me. So I have an obligation, as soon as I see that, to call my brother and say, "Hey, listen, you need to let her know that there's people that have seen her and they are actively looking for her in the park right now. That's a security concern. My niece is there. That's a problem. So, make the phone call." I haven't touched base with them again. I have no idea how that turned out. I'm guessing everything's okay, and I hope so. One thing you guys got to recognize and realize is, as much as it's frustrating, we have the court system for a reason, right? So don't take things into your own hand. Don't threaten people. Make sure you guys don't resort to violence in any type of way. That's not acceptable. That's not the life that you guys need to be living. That's not the world we live in anymore. Okay? Don't take that stuff into your own hand. There's proper ways to do things, and you guys are on top of it already. I mean, you guys are reaching out to the Florida State's Attorney General. You guys are reaching out to the FBI, I think you said. These are things that you can do, and if this stuff is true, then you should absolutely do it. Worst case scenario, it's not. There's nothing to it, and she goes on about her life for her, and then if there is, then it is what it is, right? When you play games, you win prizes, and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So, all that being said, I'm sorry this has happened to a lot of you people. I don't condone it again in any type of way. No affiliation outside of family that we don't even talk anymore because they decided months ahead of time to block us and not talk to us anymore. And I'm guessing this was because all this was coming to a head, and maybe they didn't want us to know, and whatever. Business is tough, guys. Sometimes businesses fail. I think there could have been a better way to handle this. I don't think it was handled in the right way. If this was me, I think the right way to handle this would have been, if you're in financial bind and you take loans out, I get it. I've been there. We've all been through this as business owners. We do stuff that maybe in the heat of the moment we shouldn't have done, but it is what it is. You got to live through it, right? So let's say you take out the loans. Okay, so if I am the CEO of Bamboo Bliss and we take out loans and financially we just can't afford to go, then what I would do is I would reach out to everybody and say, "Hey, unfortunately we have to shut our business down. And the way that there's limited funds available, I don't have enough money to refund everybody. However, we're going to cease orders at this moment." This actually would have happened much earlier on, but let's just say we're at where we're at now, right? We're in November and we've taken pre-orders, trying to get money to flow, whatever. Let's just assume it's not sinister. So the proper way to do that, again, would have been to say, "Hey, we're not taking any more pre-orders at this time. I need all of you guys to file chargebacks with your banks. Only if you're not able to file chargebacks, will you please reach out to us at whatever email that is, customer service, and then we will start processing refunds until the money runs out." That's the proper way to do it, especially if you have the loans and you can do that. And then you need to reach out to your lenders and say, "This is what happened. we're going to have to file bankruptcy. What can we do to make this right? Whatever. Consult with attorneys. Whatever. I'm not saying you have to reach out to lenders and you have to do this and you have to do that, but that would have been an appropriate way to do things. That would have kept this more business oriented and less grand theft slash fraud, right? Because this is the definition of fraud. If this is true, all this stuff is textbook fraud, and not just small fraud. I mean, we're talking about $10,000 in fines and up to 30 years in prison, on the state level. Federal levels like 20 years in prison and thousands of dollars in fines for each offense. I mean, this is no joke. So I hope it's not true. I hope it was simply a series of mistakes that compounded, and there's a way out of this, and it wasn't intentional, but I think the more you guys dig into it and uncover stuff, unfortunately, it seems like this may have been intentional. And if that's the case, then I hope you guys are able to get some of your money back, and put this behind